Welcome back to AM Northwest. You have the power to change the world. Here to share her inspiring new book, we welcome the author of Force of Nature, a celebration of girls and women raising their voices, photographer Kate Parker. Kate, good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
You know, this is really phenomenal. I love the picture on the cover, and there's a whole story to it.
There is. So that is my youngest daughter, who was 5 at the time, and she's 15 now. And the image was just, like a simple image that I took in our front yard in a rainstorm, posted it to Facebook, and, like a lot of parents do.
Yeah.
And the image went viral. I kept getting tagged. And by the time I went to check, it had been shared like 40,000 times in a week. And somebody had put a message underneath it, like written on the photo that said, "Remember her, she's waiting, she's still there, let's go get her."
I love
so
that.
I really loved that. I really loved that idea of like reminding women that, because she takes up space and she doesn't care what she looks like, and she's loud and she's not, super confident. And I was like remembering moments when I had felt like that. And I couldn't recall a recent moment where I felt like that. So I wanted my next book to sort of celebrate those moments in girls and women.
And so it's for all girls, all women.
Exactly. Yeah. It's my first book with actually incorporating women. So it's girls and women sharing stories of how they are raising their voices, how they're changing their world, how they're speaking up, how they're speaking out.
I feel like it's such a great message because we hear often that girls start to change and become less of themselves or their childlike self, like by middle school. And I think that's partly to do to roles that they seem to feel they need to play.
Exactly. There are so many studies, like study after study, that shows girls between 8 and 10 lose their confidence.
Yeah.
And I wanted to encourage girls and women for that not to happen, and if that does happen, to get it back as soon as possible, and to basically kind of curate your life in a way that has you feeling more like these photos, like feeling more like this, where you are passionate about something.
Yeah.
Where you're unafraid and you're fully engrossed, like moments where you don't care what you look like and moments where you don't care what people think of you.
And this is Ella? This is Alice. Sorry, this is Alice.
Yeah.
Ella's on the cover. This is Alice.
Yes, this is Alice. And I remember walking into her room one day and she had these notes on her mirror that was like, "Be creative, work hard, be strong." And it broke my heart. And I was like, I just loved that she was maybe she was at that moment where she was feeling like she was losing confidence and she didn't want to. So I just was like, I have to document this, because we could all use a few notes on our mirror.
Oh, absolutely. So let's take a step back. What do you want readers to come away with? Let's start with a 10-year-old. What would you want a 10-year-old to come away with?
So I think, what I would like people to come away with is that we're powerful beyond what we think. Like, the world tries to put us in categories with low expectations. And I didn't want that. I wanted the opposite for myself. I wanted the opposite for my girls, and I wanted the opposite for all girls, because I didn't want them to stifle what they were thinking or feeling or saying, to be accepted. And that you are powerful beyond what you can imagine, and that you can actually affect change by using your voice. And I hope this book and the stories in this book of girls speaking up, making change, inspires other girls or anybody reading the book to be like, you know what? That's not okay.
Yeah.
I can actually make a change. I can change something.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
hopefully it's that little spark of inspiration.
The young woman who's the ballerina, she was pretty powerful because she has her own story of just being who she wants to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny, that story, I didn't know this. So part of her story is that she is an ambassador for an organization called Brown Girls Do Ballet. And for years and years, she's had to pancake make up her toe shoes so that they look like her legs. They weren't making toe shoes in brown colors like her legs are.
Right.
And that she was trying to encourage, underrepresented populations to find dance and find, the beauty in dance. So I feel like I learned so much from these girls when I get to shoot them.
Don't you feel like right now is really important? I mean, we have women's rights being taken away, and this feels like we need this more than ever now.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, this, being in an election year, I hope this next generation does better. I hope, I know that girls and women deserve more.
Yeah.
And this book is hopefully a little bit of inspiration, understanding we need to make ourselves heard. We need to speak up. However we feel, knowing that those thoughts and those, our rights as women are valid, and that we have our chances, and to take our chances when we can.
Yeah, and lastly, tell me what you want. What are you hoping women over 40 will take away from this?
Oh my gosh, I hope, because that is my category right there. So I truly hope it reminds us of this when this photo,
right,
when we felt like that, and to encourage women in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, however old, to do more things that make them feel that way, to find things in their lives that make them feel like they're screaming and they're 5 years old and they think that they own the world, and that it just, filled with joy.
I love it. We want to tell our viewers the book again is titled Force of Nature, a celebration of girls and women raising their voices. Kate Parker, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.